Hello everyone. Today I would like to read out the 12th chapter titled The Woman and the King's Daughter and Him from my manuscript, The King's Daughter and Him. This story is a work of fiction. All characters, events and places are imaginary or symbolic in nature. Any resemblance to real person living or dead or real events is purely coincidental. The story is intended for entertainment, creative expression and interpretive storytelling purposes only. I'd like to read out the story. The next day, I eagerly waited to listen to the story. And back in time, my friend too waited to listen to the king's daughter's story, or at least to make an entry into her secret world that she shared only at night with her unknown companion. He was still not aware of whom she was speaking to that night. He said, "Those days I was not too busy as it was the off-peak season for my projects. I stayed back in the foreign land to work on some client requirements. In a few days I had to return to take up additional responsibilities. My company thought it was cost effective for me to stay back as I had a few more responsibilities to handle over the next few days. That day at the palace, I showed her many saved videos on my laptop related to various relationships, music, and even write ups on different human connections. She looked at me almost expressionless and said, "How would this help me in drawing or painting?" I said, "They are all inspiration for your artwork. You're always drawing these lifeless things. Try drawing or painting something from these visuals too. If there is something that you would want to draw, what would it be from these visuals that we have seen?" She immediately replied, "The one in which the two siblings get separated. There is so much pain in that separation." My friend knew he had struck the right chord, but he did not have the courage to ask her anything about the previous night. He said, "You have to feel the pain. Only then will your picture feel complete. Have you ever felt that pain?" Her eyes were restless, and I could see her forehead sweating even in the air conditioned room. She almost whispered, "I experience it every night. I have carried that pain for many years." I said, "I'm sorry, did you say something just now?" She moved backward as if she had made a mistake and then looked a little tense. I tried to comfort her and said, "I'm sure you didn't. Now that you have this as your inspiration, would you like to try and finish it at your pace? Let me see how it turns out in your imagination." She almost smiled, though I wasn't sure if it was even a smile. Perhaps she had forgotten how to smile. She tried her hand at the drawing and I did not interrupt. I just allowed her to explore it. Then I said, "I think I left my phone here yesterday. Can I take it?" It was lying close to her on the side table near the bed, within her reach. I realized then that the number must have been dialed unknowingly. She was still not aware of it. I quietly picked up the phone and walked away from the room after my class timings. While leaving the room, I thought of dropping my phone there again just to hear the voice of the woman in her, the one who cries, the one who feels the pain, and the one who expresses it freely to someone else. But I also realized that such coincidences don't happen every day. That is the reality. So I walked out without leaving the phone behind. I returned home that day and kept looking at my phone. Though there was no emotional connection between the king's daughter and me, I still kept checking my phone, hoping to receive a call. He said, "You won't believe it. Trust me, I did receive a call that night from the palace, but it was not from the king's daughter. It was from her guard. She had completed the drawing and wanted me to be the first one to see it. She wanted to know if there was any way that she could share it with me. There were many ways, but she did not have access to a phone or a computer in her room. I was not sure if the king would allow her access to either from anywhere else in the palace. We both had to wait. I thought maybe that was the reason she asked the guards to call. I couldn't wait for the next day. I was happy that she wanted to show that picture to me first. I also hoped that I was slowly creating a space in her heart. I was still not sure if it was just my assumption. As he was narrating this, his friend called him. He said, "Hey, can you meet Nisha? I have told her about you. Before I meet her, can you see if she is my type? If she is, then my Pune visit will be worth it. I'm held up with a few things here and will be free only after 2 weeks." I don't know what his friend replied, but I felt they were being unfair to Nisha. His choice and his friend's choice could differ. If Nisha did the same to him, how would he feel? Anyway, men's and women's thought rarely match. I did not want to be a part of that conversation. So I remained quiet, waiting to listen to the rest of the story. My friend continued. "The next day I saw the picture and she had drawn it well. I appreciate her I appreciated her and told her that this was the best way to seek inspiration for any art form. I also promised to teach her how to use email or other long distance methods of communication. However, she needed the king's approval for that. Over the next few days, I kept sharing videos, write ups, and pictures. My acquaintance with the king's daughter slowly started building. I still cannot call it friendship, but it was something better than our first meeting. She smiled a few times. Slowly, we were moving along a path that we ourselves were not aware of. She was well guarded, both by her security guards and her own stable thoughts. Life and relationships were moving in a new direction for both of us. I wondered, could I play the role of her companion just to share her pain? The more I got to know her, the more I could feel her pain, something she suppressed in broad daylight. I tried to reach her through music during those 2 hours of learning, all under the pretext of teaching. Please don't ask me how I felt for her then. Even if it had been someone else, I think I would have behaved the same way. It was just how a person would feel for another person in pain. I couldn't say anything more. I just listened quietly to the story of the king's daughter and him. That's all for the day. Do let me know your thoughts about this chapter by writing in the comments section. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.